Hello, this is Hannah.
Echo!
And Crystal.
And this is a news, culture, and current events podcast from the perspective of three whole YouTubers. Hey, Echo.
Hey, Hannah.
What are you salty about today?
Today, I am particularly salty about family vlog channels.
Yeah, we hate
them. Yeah,
Strong right out the bat.
Coming out the gate with the strong, I hate them.
Just dumping the salt all over the place.
I hate them. We missed last week. Also, we missed last week. Sorry. My bad.
Extra salt.
Extra
because
salt.
I
was in,
salt is also
like, California for, like, the whole week, spending lots of time with family vloggers.
Oh, hell
and
Ooh, man.
there were so many family vloggers at ClimaCon.
See, I forget about them because I don't watch them.
Yeah,
and so I'm like,
Yep.
who? What? Who's the most popular thing on YouTube right now?
They're famous and not famous at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. Because it's like, I was talking to people who have just, like casually just, 4 million subscribers.
Oh, casually.
And it's like, I have never heard of you in my whole life. I've never even seen your face. Why do I not know you if you have this many subscribers? And it's because, like, most of their stuff is watched by kids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Most of their stuff is watched by little kids and
robots as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Parents.
We'll get
Yeah,
into that
robots.
later.
Bots. And also parents who, like, don't, I don't know, make it a point to, like, subscribe to...
I think that's true.
Or
with, like,
don't,
older people.
don't know YouTube culture. I should say that. It's older people who don't know, like, who don't get into YouTube culture the way younger people do, and little kids who don't understand YouTube.
Yeah. I do think it is cool, though, like, or, not cool. I don't know. It is a point to mention that, like, your engagement really makes a big difference. So, even if you don't have 4 million, like, some people with 1 million, like, Dodie Clark is the best example of this in the whole world. Her fans are so engaged that, like, even when she had less than 1 million, it felt like she had 10 million because her fans were there for every second of everything that she did on every platform. And so anything she did was watched, like, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she was really well known in the community, too.
Yeah, she is so nice. She made friends with everybody.
She's always, like, the example that I jump to when I try to think of... Or when I'm talking to or hearing YouTube experts, if you can hear my air quotes, talk about, like, when you do YouTube, you have to do it this way. And I'm like, no, Dodie doesn't do that. And
Dodie
she's
does
incredibly
not do
successful.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always my go-to. Like, whenever I'm stressing out too hard about not doing a thing right, TM, I'm like, Dodie doesn't have an end screen, it's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
I actually retired my end screen just because I was like, people don't need to be told 8 million times to fucking subscribe at this point. I'm pretty sure they can figure it out. They don't need a little animation at the end. I'm taking a new approach. Like,
it's also a click-off point. Like, end screens are click-off points.
It is. It's silly.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what that means, it's like we get analytics on what percentage of our videos are watched, and as soon as it hits that end screen, that little bar of like how many people are viewing plummets to like 20%. Or less.
Because as soon as the end screen starts, people are like, oh, the video's over, and then they click something else.
I always put a little goodie at the end, though. Like Marvel.
I try to. As well, same.
I was told by YouTube not to do that.
Yeah, dude, I remember you told me that.
Don't do that anymore.
Really?
And I was like, go fuck yourself. My fans like it. It's fun to put bloopers
why would
in at the
you
end.
not do that?
They said
that's like YouTube tradition.
I know. I know. That's like
not to mention if you need to like
YouTubers
push it over that like 10-minute mark and you just need a couple extra seconds, you can throw that on there.
But you know they won't ever say that out loud. They'll never tell you that you should make your video over 10 minutes. Although that is what you should do if you want the muns.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time I made a video over 10 minutes was. It's been so long. I wish
a solid chunk of my videos are 10 minutes or longer.
Dude, I wish I could be that entertaining for that long. I'm just not that funny.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
I just, this kind of humor you can only take 6 minutes of.
I think you could, my dude. For myself, because it's mostly animating, it's like, well, I have a 13-minute video. I need to cut it to 8 so I don't die in the process of creating it.
That's fair. It's pretty fair.
But you know who does always have over 10-minute videos?
Who?
Family vloggers, which is what
Yep.
we're talking about here.
Shoot,
That's
good
part of the
segue.
reason that their stuff is so successful, is that their videos are incredibly long.
Okay, so you mentioned this, and I was like, ooh, dumb, boring topic. No, that's not what I was like, but a little bit. I was like, oh,
No, I
don't
totally
want to research this because it's
Yeah.
not what I like to watch. So I was like, I don't want to watch these videos to have an opinion on these videos because I already think they're boring. So I got in like a rabbit hole of all these weird family vloggers, and they're really popular. Like Roman Atwood, I forgot how many subscribers he has.
Yeah.
He has so many subscribers. His videos are so boring. I'm sorry, controversial opinion, but they're like 17 minutes of just like him talking about his life. And I'm just, I guess,
and like
I just
playing with
don't
his kids
know him.
and like, it's all, to me, as a person who does not have kids and who is not a super child, I can't relate to any of this content.
14
It's
million
unrelatable to me.
subscribers.
Yep.
That's insane.
What?
See, I just
14
spent
million.
like a whole week surrounded by family vloggers and toy unboxing channels, so I feel like I've gotten a little bit deeper. Like, I fell into that rabbit hole initially, and I was like, oh, this would be a good podcast subject.
Dude,
because
I'm actually pretty pumped about it now that I've gotten into it a little bit. I have a lot of
I
opinions.
have a prediction. Yes, same. I've realized I have more predictions than I initially did when I first, like, decided to do this. Because it leaches into other parts of YouTube that are also very, like, big and controversial.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Should we start with the Drew Gooden?
Yeah,
video
because that's what
and talk about that?
He needs to have
saw.
a
I
big
sent
old
this to both of you
shout-out.
guys. Yes, agreed. Drew Gooden is amazing and fantastic.
Yeah, so fucking
he-
funny.
What? He's famous for doing the road work ahead Vine.
Oh,
Do you guys know that?
Okay.
Yeah, he made that.
As soon as I typed his
sure
little name
hope
in,
it
I saw
does.
Vines, and I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, he was
a
a Viner. Yeah, he's a Vine refugee, but he's one of those people where I'm like, thank you for coming to the platform because you make
he's
it
actually
better.
good at this type of content, which is very rare.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. It's funny because there was a point in like one of his videos where he was like talking about his merch, and it's all like his like normal merch stuff, and then one of them is like a shirt from that Vine that ruined my life, and just went through them, and it's just like road work ahead.
That's the best attitude to have about something that made you successful.
Yes,
Great.
exactly. Just that beautiful like sarcasm.
Hell yeah. Alright,
He's
so
fantastic.
he made a video, and Echo showed us this. It's called Maybe Don't Do That, which is an amazing title. Maybe Don't Do
great
That
video.
Family Vlogs. And it's just about, specifically one family he calls out, but in general it's about putting kids in front of a camera and pretty much scripting them. So, as you know, some family vlogs are like candid, and then some are very obviously scripted. But they don't ever say that they're scripted, which is the problem I have. If they would just say, like, it's a skit, or like, haha, fun times with this skit, or just put the word skit at the end of the title, I wouldn't have a single problem, because, like, what a good time with your kids performing.
Yeah.
Unless
But
you're
the
forcing them,
issue-
which is another thing, and I feel weird
that's
about
another
it.
thing.
It's
The
a good
issue
time.
is that they're trying. That's sad because they're trying so hard to pass it off as real. And they're using these clickbaity ass scenarios and titles, and then you get to the meat of it, which is what Drew Gooden did in this video, and it's so comically bad.
It's
Especially because it's like
real bad.
little kids trying to act
my
is the
God.
most
It's
adorable
kind of
thing.
really
and
cute. Yeah, the kids are
Yeah.
real cute. The
parents
adults
are cringy as
less
fuck.
cute. Yeah, not cute when adults try and act and fail.
Oh my God.
So this family does vlogs and pranks, and it's classic family vlog channel, TBH, that's what they all are. It's like, I'm pranking my kid, haha. And so they have their kids prank them, and you can hear my air quotes. Prank them. It's obviously a skit. And the kids, in this one, in the one that Drew Gooden talks about, is they take, or the credit card is already in the computer, and they buy a bunch of Fortnite shit.
Yeah, it's like $200 worth of
Fortnite
stuff.
skins and stuff. And emotes.
Yeah, okay, let me really quick, okay, I'm sorry. What stood out to me first and foremost, because you hear that, right? And you're like, oh, this kid must be like 13, perhaps 12, maybe even 10. I'm watching this fucking clip and I'm laughing so hard because this child is like 6.
He's probably
and he's like,
6.
And he's talking like J. Paul. And he's like, okay, guys.
It's pretty funny.
We're gonna steal my dad's credit card number.
If it was a comedy skit, they would have nailed it.
It's so funny to me. And then his little brother is like the only hype man. His little brother has to be like fucking like 4 or some shit.
I was
he's
like,
like teeny little kid.
He's so small.
And he's just like, yeah. He just agrees. That's all he does in the whole video. Is just, yeah.
Oh my god. He just keeps smiling. He's so happy the whole time.
Oh my
and he
God.
calls out everybody on their shit. He's like, do you feel guilty? No.
No.
I didn't do it.
Or like the shopping thing.
Oh my god.
Where he's like, this little kid is like calling out inaccuracies in the video that they've scripted.
Continuity errors.
Like, yeah.
The mom was supposed to like come back from shopping and find out this thing and have a mega freak out, right? So she comes back and it's awkward as fuck. She's so bad at it.
She's really bad. She's
so
worse
bad
than
at
it.
And she's like, you know what? This other kid didn't do it. I'm gonna take him shopping. And the kid just goes, Mommy just came back from shopping.
But Mom!
And then she's like, oh, well, we're just gonna go shopping again. Or she tries to recover and it's like so awkward.
That's so fucking funny about this to me is because this is a vlog. They're not live. You can cut that the fuck out and reset the scene. Like, why did you
Okay, this is another thing about family vlogs. The parents are usually 30s, 40s. Like, I don't want to overestimate how old they are, but they're usually fairly old. And they the YouTube culture goes right over their heads. They clearly don't understand.
This is like,
these are like
YouTube. The ends just outside of YouTube.
Film.
It's
like film.
This is just like too old and too young to understand YouTube.
Yes.
And they've gamed this system so perfectly.
It's so strange. But, like,
it's so weird.
I always go back and forth because it's entertainment, and, like, you know, if they're not hurting anybody, and these kids, it's not a Daddy of 5 situation, like, the kids aren't being abused. They're not screaming at their kids and making them scared for their safety. You know, who cares? But the thing is that the audience is so unsupervised nowadays, and they're all, like, 6. Like, all their audience has to be 6 to 10. Like, they have to be the youngest kids in the whole world.
Yeah.
And you could tell from the comments, this is what Drew goes into as well. The comments, you could tell a 12-year-old wrote them, if that.
Yeah.
Although, you know, the bar for internet comments is so low, it's hard to tell the age sometimes.
It's true. But they're obviously written by children.
They really do look like they're children.
Another point Drew made that was just kind of like, what the fuck, is the encouragement of doing this thing, this exact same thing. So
that they essentially made a tutorial.
Yeah, they made a tutorial. They didn't shame it. The parents didn't even freak out, quote unquote. The mega freak out was something like, really guys. And then at the end, they were like, have you ever stolen your parents' credit card number?
That's like
leave a comment.
Tell us about it in the comments.
And that's the worst part, because these kids who don't know any better are like, I have.
Like 12 times, like every day. You probably shouldn't promote crime in your videos in general.
Yeah.
In a non-jokey way, just like, you know, you probably shouldn't do that. Especially if you know your audience is super duper young. Not the best look, guys. It's really not.
It's not. Another issue that, like, very quietly bothered me on the inside, which even these kids were very obviously being coached line by line by their parents. But they were holding, like, you know, like, acting like they were holding the camera, looking in the camera, and they were talking like one of the Paul brothers. Like, okay, guys, we're gonna do this. And even though they're coaching them like, oh, this is a skit or whatever, you're essentially telling this child that this behavior is something to learn. It's something to be trained. It's something to pick up. And so you're essentially teaching this tiny child to behave like a Paul brother and then be like, good job. Like I don't understand why
so that's
good.
Kind of another thing is, like, I always, every time I see videos like this, I always worry for the personality damage of the child involved.
Yes.
And this has been a thing with show business for fucking ever, since the beginning of film.
See, this is why there are such strict, like, child labor laws when it comes to child actors.
This needs to be a thing for YouTube as well. This is totally unregulated.
Okay, I have a prediction.
Yes.
I have a prediction.
Do it.
I'm going to throw this out there, and we're going to have it on the internet for just in case this happens. We can be like, Echo prediction.
I would do it.
This. Okay, so here's what I think is going to happen. Because initially what had happened was that, you know, the film industry started, and then children started getting involved, and then people realized, wait, this is bad for the kids, so they started, like, putting all of these, like, really strict rules. Now what's happening is that because we're in the Wild West of the internet, and there's no laws surrounding the internet yet, like, all this shit is still forming. Even the stuff around, like, fair use is forming with, like, the H3H3 lawsuit, and, like, the Akilah Hughes lawsuit, all that stuff. So, I think that what is eventually going to happen is that some of these kids are going to grow up. They're going to get to be like 18 something or else. I don't know. They're going to realize that there are hundreds of videos of their image, their face on the internet that their parents have profited off of. And if these parents don't accurately save them a portion of this money, they're going to sue. The kids are going to sue the parents, and that's when you're going to get the crazy, like, child... Like, this is going to set the new precedent for these laws.
That's
for the new child labor laws.
Pretty
that
cool.
The kids are going to get a portion of this money. We just have to wait for it to happen. I guarantee you, at some point, a child will sue the family vlogger for using their image.
What has happened in Hollywood before Hollywood got, you know, regulated. Like, I don't doubt it at all. Especially if these kids are, like, growing up thinking they deserve X, Y, and Z or whatever. It's so a given. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, like, if these parents, and I guarantee you the majority of them are not, they're keeping all of this money in, like, their personal bank accounts and everything. And then we're gonna get all this stuff, like, how much of your image do you actually own? Like, how much of your face is you? Like, do parents have the right to, like, exploit your image up until you're 18? I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
it gets hella complicated.
I'm just gonna flat out answer no.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's so tricky and weird. The legal... I can't even pretend to understand any legal part of this, even a little bit. But as far as, like, a moral standpoint, I just feel like it's probably going to damage the kid's personality. You can't be on camera that much and be forced to kind of keep up this persona. Even adults that are forced to daily vlog get very damaged with their mental health. Like, it damages them as a person. We've seen this over and over again. Anybody who's daily vlogged for any amount of time, I think every single one of them will tell you that it took a toll on them. And, you know, we're seeing it less and less of, like, people who edit themselves, at least. Because you just can't... It's just a lot to deal with. There's something about putting on a different person for that long that kind of fucks with you.
It's like a weird Jekyll and Hyde scenario.
It's true.
Even Roman Atwood stopped daily vlogging, by the way.
I heard that.
He's been doing it for years, but he stopped like 2 months ago.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's bad for you.
When it comes to, like, children's rights, this is a whole thing that I spend too much time thinking about. I feel like too many parents think that they own their kids.
Yeah.
And I don't see it that way. I see it as, like, you're responsible for your kids. Like, you have to do what is best for them, and you can't just, like, choose their lives for them.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
It absolutely does.
Which is part of the reason, like, anti-vaxxers drive me crazy. Sorry, that's just, like, a random political tangent.
That is another thing entirely, but I agree.
I mean, it is the same concept of, like, how much can your parents... should it be legal for parents to decide to hurt their children like that?
Yeah.
And the answer is no,
or to do something
shouldn't.
that could potentially hurt them. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I think that should be illegal for... They can choose to do that to their own bodies once they're over 18, but they can't choose to do that to their underage child who's gonna fucking get polio in 2018. Yeah. What the hell?
I forget what country it was, but my sister was telling me, I think it's either Canada or the UK, I can't remember, but, like, the children have more rights than the parents, which I thought was, like, fascinating. So, like... it's just to essentially make sure that the children have, like, personal autonomy over, like, their future and everything, to make sure that they're taken care of and everything until they are, like,
that's interesting.
Mentally set, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. But yeah, so, like, if there's a law that's like, okay, we need to vaccinate the children, they're going to vaccinate the children, and the parents don't have, like, the option to be like, no, don't vaccinate this other human that I am responsible for.
I mean, personally, I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You're responsible for them, but you're not you're not a god over their lives. Like, you can't just fucking decide whether they live or die. They get to live, because they're alive already. Like, fuck,
they're
dude.
alive already.
I just want to throw this out there. We are three, like, mid-20s people who do not have children, so
we're
take
super
what we say with a grain of salt.
We are lawyers and parents and daily vloggers all in one.
We know everything.
We know so much, guys.
Okay, sorry, Crystal. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. I was gonna say it kind of draws back over to what we're talking about, because you have a question of, like, a lot of big YouTubers choose to not show their children's faces because you're essentially putting this child in the public eye.
Yeah.
And against their wishes. They have no way to be like, yes, I want that, no, I don't. Mm-hmm. And so to just force your child into this family vlog situation by essentially manipulation, like, oh, if you do this, we'll go get ice cream, or if you blah, 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 which is often what these people do. You're kind of, like, stripping them of their right to publicity without their ability to even know how to consent to it.
I think every parent should at least give their kid a pseudonym. Like, I don't think you should ever put your child's real name out there. That's just personal. Yeah. Like,
that could also be because we grew up in the time of, like, don't tell anyone your name or anything on the internet.
It's true.
Stay a mystery.
We did. And then what did we all do? Immediately go put our real names on the internet. It's a good time, you know?
I mean, there's, like, being overprotective, and then there's just being respectful of the fact that your kid deserves privacy.
Yeah.
So when you grow up in the public eye, like, this kid will go to school and they'll be like, oh, like, all the kids at school know that you're on YouTube. Yeah. You know, like, and that's suddenly,
that was the thing. I was watching a video and they were talking about that. Like, it's possible for these kids' classmates, when they're older, to just go and see everything about them.
Yes.
Like, everything about their, like, they can see them, like, crying and, like, doing all kinds of stuff. That does
bother me a lot when they put, like, when they get a little older, like, when they get to be, like, 6 or 7 and they start putting them crying on the internet, I remember how fucking embarrassed I was when, like, I broke down crying one time in middle school, and I was like, what, 9? But I was still horrified to think that my peers could see me crying, you know? Like, that stuff is fucking awful. And then if you put it on the internet for, like, millions of people to see, like, that's really embarrassing for, like, I don't know. I would have been torn apart about it. And then they can go look at comments about themselves when they're that old. I think that would have ruined me as a person. Yeah. If I had the ability to look at thousands of people judging me when I was 7. Mm-hmm. Because they
terrifying.
These kids are so smart. They obviously know how to get to their own videos. Like, I don't know. That would have ruined me inside.
The other thing. Oh, sorry.
No, it's just so conflicting. Like, I don't know. It's just the weirdest, and, like, it makes me feel weird about it.
It's such a weird gray. It's such a weird gray area that we're entering, because this is all new. This has never happened before in the history of humanity. This is all completely new Black Mirror shit.
Yep. Yeah, and what I do find fascinating, speaking of, like, newness, I find it fascinating that, like, we had TV in, like, the 1950s, and I was like, what, TV? And, like, we had these, like, badly scripted shows, and the badly scripted shows got betterly scripted, and then the betterly scripted shows turned into reality TV, and the reality TV started so real, so raw, so real world, and then it turned into what it is now, which was what I find the parallel between the pioneering of television versus the pioneering of the internet is, which we went from this, like, so raw, so real, like, we just started so raw, so real, and now we're getting into, like, this weird reality TV scriptedness,
like the one-up
again.
The one-upping.
Yeah,
like
we're going, like,
kind
backwards.
of came back to this place of reality TV that's scripted. You know, it's just so strange that we keep, like, relapsing in the media
really
cycle.
Weird to watch.
I think it's just because humans, I don't know, like, we will naturally compete and fight for things. So if there aren't rules in place, then we'll just go until we hit the farthest barrier, because it's competition. That's how people will function.
So the farthest barrier we found
goes back and
is pulling terrible, terrible pranks on your kids, right?
Yeah.
That's like the wall where we're all like, hey, no, actually you can't do that. And that's really not cool for you to like fucking scream at your kids and push them into walls and stuff. Hey, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah. And then we finally hit the point where like, I don't know, if the people stepped in and were like, no, we're not going to let you do that.
Let's call Child Protective Services. That I think that was the first time that happened with Daddy of Five, right? I can't think of another time that happened.
That's the first time I've ever seen it happen.
And they actually took his kids away, which was, I mean, I trust them doing an investigation better than YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I trust their investigation, but yeah, it felt deserved to me. And
yeah, definitely.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You can't just do that shit to kids. They're fucking kids.
Yeah.
You're gonna mess up their whole life. And that's not
kids
cool.
Kids are sponges, man.
Yeah.
They
really
take up
are.
everything.
This is another thing. So I don't want to feel like we're being overprotective of children, because kids can handle a fucking lot and bounce back. Like we all went through a lot of shit, and here we are living our lives having mental issues, but we're dealing. We're going.
We're working. We're getting through it.
Everybody's got something. So I just want to say that when you're pulling a prank on your kid, I had this done to me all the time, like jump scare stuff, like funny, haha, we're gonna push you off a cliff, but we're not. And this is the stuff that Roman Atwood does, and it's fairly harmless, but it's just stuff like that kind of fucks with your trust of a parent, which is very, very critical. And now here I am giving parenting advice, and I'm not a parent. But when you break
it's
that
more
trust,
like parent advice from the perspective of a child.
Yeah, it definitely is, because I vividly remember breaking that trust and how much it fucks with not only like you as a person, but with all future relationships you'll ever have for the rest of your life. As soon as you break that trust, those kids are not going to be able to love again. And I just want parents to know that you probably shouldn't fuck with your kids too much.
That's like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet like yesterday where someone was saying like, they were kind of like complaining about parents complaining when their kids criticize their parenting.
Oh,
so it was like, you need to get used to the fact, like, you have to actually listen to your kids when they tell you, like, hey, you parented wrong. You maybe shouldn't have not done that.
Yeah. You probably should listen. Kids fucks up a lot of the time. It's really crazy how smart, even, I watch 2-year-olds the most. I am a Sunday school teacher of 2-year-olds. Every week I spend hours with these kids. And you say 2-year-olds, they're fucking stupid. They actually, they're pretty much, a lot of them are very aware and sentient, if you don't mind that phrase. They know what's going on. They can escape the room if they wanted to. They choose to stay under their own volition. And, they know what's fucking going on. And I don't know. You'd be amazed how much they'll let me know about what you're doing to them.
Oh, yeah. They will.
They fucking know what's going on.
They pick up on shit so quick.
What
was it? I was outside the other day, and I was like, it's New York City. There's a lot of people everywhere. But this woman and her daughter, I think the daughter was like, I don't know, like 10-ish, whatever. They were shopping, and the mom like had a bunch of bags, and he wanted to go somewhere else. And the daughter was just like, Mommy, you have a shopping problem. And the mom just side-eyed the fuck out of this girl. Like, did you just say that to me?
You've got a problem. That's awesome.
That's another great thing. It can be great and terrible, but like children have no filter, so they're not like accustomed to that. Like, ooh, I don't need to.
Oh yeah,
not hurt this person's feelings.
But it's fascinating that like these kids can like notice a behavior that other people don't do, even if their parent does it and it's normal. They can look at the surrounding environment and say, "This is not normal. How much you do this, or how least you do this. This is a problem," and then they will like point it out. And I'm like, kids are smart, man.
Dude, the stuff I've had kids tell me. I had a kid the other day run up to me, give me a big old hug, and then immediately pull away from me and go, "You smell." And I was like, "Oh shit, dude, I gotta go change this shirt right now." And everybody around me was like, "No, he says that all the time." And I'm like, it's real. I believe him. I was like, I trust this kid more than I trust you, 50-year-old woman.
Right? That's the thing. Like, it hurts more than anything else. Like, if a kid calls you fat or like says your hair is a mess or like says anything negative about your appearance, because they don't see it as a negative thing. They just feel like, oh, I'm just pointing out this thing that everyone knows. And it's like, it hurts because it's like, oh my God.
like it is 100% true.
It must
they have
be
no
true.
reason to lie to me. No other motivations.
Like they're not trying to hurt you. They don't even realize that they could be.
No.
They're just being
like,
blunt about like
normal.
a thought they have.
And you smell.
Okay, I have another thing that I want to bring up in terms of like children existing on the internet, because that is a thing that happens now.
It is.
Children have not built up an immunity to clickbait in the same way that we have.
That is a true
statement. They are, this is part of the reason why Elsiegate happened, is that children are not immune to clickbait. They fall for it instantly. They're very susceptible to clickbait. So when people make these, like, really clickbait thumbnails, children will click on them. They don't have to, like, worry about, like, this lowest common denominator kind of thing with, like, adults and clickbait. Yeah. All children will click on them because they don't have that same immunity that we built up growing up with this.
You know, that actually makes sense to why clickbait even does well, because I cannot understand why anybody would click on a video that's like, you know, oh, I almost died, or actually, I have a video named that, I'm pretty sure.
Don't we all?
Everybody has, like, a clickbait video. Like, I don't know. I have one clickbait video. It's my one singular experiment in clickbait, because everybody fucking does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That video actually did really well.
It fucking did really well. Like, mine was, I almost got kidnapped by a prince. Did in fact meet a prince. Shit, did in fact get really fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kidnapped.
So, like, you delivered when it came to the clickbait.
Yeah, I delivered to a point.
You know what I mean? Out underwater. That's pretty close to dying.
That's
pretty
like,
close.
My what is it? Orphan girl takes a DNA test.
Yeah.
So clickbait.
Did
so well. But it's true.
It did.
Like,
yeah, it is
Yeah,
true.
And then you have people in your comments being like, this was so clickbait. And you're like, yeah, but like...
Yeah, bitch.
It worked, though. Like, it worked,
yeah, so here you are, commenting.
You're here. Thanks for the view in the comment, motherfucker.
I don't know, man. I always go back and forth. I usually like to just name things like really nonchalant, like stupid things. But it is... This is the problem, really, I have with family vloggers, is once it becomes about money and about you have to do a certain amount of to pay rent.
Yeah.
That's when it's really iffy, because then you start putting pressure on your kids that you probably wouldn't otherwise, and it's not just for fun anymore. And this, obviously, I can't speak for every single family, but that's the basic mentality of a YouTube channel. You get to a point where if you're living off this income, it is about views, because it is directly relating to your income, whether or not you're a chill person or not. Like, it's irrelevant whether you're chill. It is just the thought that's in your mind of, I need this to do this well for me to pay my rent and feed my kids. So I'm going to put pressure on these people who don't deserve to have pressure put on them. And I personally get super bitchy when that sort of pressure is on me. Like, I'm not a fun person to be around anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody does well under pressure like that, though.
No,
like, and then you have like these they're emotionally immature. They're still developing. Like, they don't even know how they feel half the time.
Yeah.
And so to be put under that kind of pressure. I don't even think they can really
comprehend how many people are seeing them. It's like I can barely comprehend how many people are seeing my face every day.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
It's like these kids have no idea.
And that is a perfect segue into how ridiculous some of these views are. So, I was just casually looking through.
It always blows my mind.
It's insane. So, Roman Atwood's channel does super, super well. He's got, 14 million subscribers, and he has plenty of videos with, like, over 18 million views, 12 million views. Jeez. I was looking at some of his more, like, clickbaity ones. He has one called Scaring the Kids to Death and Throwing Kids Off Cliff Prank, which has 12 million views, which I specifically hate. Because it's super, like, the prank part of it, quote-unquote prank part of it, is, like, the chillest prank I've ever seen in my life. It's, like, not even a big deal. But I just don't, like... my mom's best friend died falling off a cliff, and Tony's best friend died falling off a cliff, 2 years ago. So, I'm a little, like, let's not play around cliffs. Let's not teach kids to play on cliffs, specifically. Anyway, what I was talking about is the views. It's insane how many views these channels get, and then we go into Ryan's Toys review.
Oh, goodness.
Which is
oh my god,
the most viewed actual YouTube channel. There's a couple like WWE that gets some more views, but do we even count those as YouTube channels?
No, they don't count.
I
won't count them.
And even then, it's similar, still not more. It's like Ryan Toy's Review. Like, that is the famous channel. Because he gets more views than freaking PewDiePie.
He does. He does always, consistently. He gets 800 million a month. Which is let's just think about that number for a second. There's 7 point whatever billion people on this planet.
That's almost a seventh of the population of the Earth.
A seventh of the planet. 1 out of 7.
That's crazy.
That is...
How many did you say?
Insane. 800 million.
800 million?
That's
a month.
200 million away from being a billion.
That's roughly like 8 million a month, right?
No, 800 million a month.
Depending on... No, money.
Oh, yes.
That's like $8 million
I was like,
a month.
That's about
right.
$8 million.
And
that is like being conservative.
Which it is. And it's the top channel, so you know it's Google preferred.
Oh.
So
you know
he's
got like good CPMs because it's all kids.
At least.
It's all family
friendly
content.
as fuck. Hell yeah.
They're making like
that is the definition
millions.
Of family friendly. It is exclusively for families. I would think YouTube would want to make 1 million of him.
Oh yeah.
But they don't push that kind of content super hard, at least vocally they don't.
Well, because as much as YouTube...
maybe they do.
YouTube wants the money, right? Yeah. They want the money, but they want the status. So as much as they want all that green, they want their TV peers to be like, YouTube, you can sit with us.
It's not classic TV. It's true.
You know what it is? It's like cake.
Engaging as well.
It is like cake.
It's like cake, where the mass of it is like cake, and then they take all of the like reputable channels and sprinkle it on top like frosting. So it looks like this really fancy thing, and then the inside is just like family vloggers and like
a mess.
Toy reviews and just a mess. Cake is delicious.
Cake is my favorite.
Dude,
food.
I was watching, just talking about the absurdity of what's in YouTube and gets a lot of views. I was watching, I'm a foodie, so I like watching Binging with Babish.
Oh, hell yeah.
Binging with Babish is great.
So good.
He was on Bon Appetit, which is another great channel. It's Alive with Brad. Leone is absolutely fucking hilarious. But he was on Bon Appetit, and there was a video where he just sat there and reviewed like the most viewed food videos. Binging with Babish. Babish did this. And, like, he got to one video. It's just called, like, Crazy Candy Mountain. Or Crazy Candy, Lots of Candy. Or something like that. And he's sitting there.
Crazy Candy, Lots of Candy.
I forgot. It's called
that's
something.
That's the best title. Even if that's not the title, that is the best title I have ever heard.
Something like that.
Crazy
it's
candy,
something super... This is what it is. Lots of candy. And then you just see a table... Right? And you see a man's hands. And you just see him go, ah! And he's just opening candy. For 30 fucking minutes. For 30 minutes.
YouTube.
It had 100 million views.
Oh my god.
30 minutes of just aggressively throwing candy on the table.
I'm in the wrong section of YouTube.
Is he like screaming the whole time? Because I would really hope so. Because that would just be like icing on the cake, beautiful.
They like skipped past it because it's 30 minutes, and Babish is like, watching this. He's like, I really hope this is over soon. It's like 10 minutes later. He's like, what the fuck? And it's like 10 minutes later, and they're still doing it.
That's awesome.
Oh my god! That
was
just
do that?
He was
Can
shocked.
we just like?
I wish it had 100 million fucking views,
dude.
Let's just get a ton of candy, and that'll be like the collab. We'll just
how do you have that much
put
candy
it on the table?
30 minutes of opening brand new fucking candy is a lot of candy.
We'll try and get like a sponsor, and then just be like,
Echo, you're like, we're gonna do this shit, and we're gonna.
I want to do this. And we'll call it, what do you say? Crazy candy, so much candy?
Lots of candy.
Hell yeah.
Crazy candy, lots of candy.
I am so here for that. That sounds like my
we'll
dream
just make
content.
A mountain of candy.
Oh my god.
That'll be the best. We'll just go to the dollar store, buy like all of it. Just all of it.
Man, YouTube is such a weird place.
Isn't it?
It's
that's
like
like
amazing.
It's a beautiful charm.
Part of me just loves that stuff like that does well. Like,
I know.
I just love that. It's so weird.
It is. If you want to see the video, it's Babish on Bon Appetit, which it's like his sitting awesome. There reviewing videos.
I'm gonna have to watch after this because that sounds fantastic.
Oh my god,
it was funny.
So this goes into the whole like, who is watching this stuff? And I think the answer is children and robots.
Yeah.
Yep. Because when the engagement is low, it has to be either children or old people or robots, right?
Yes.
Because otherwise they'd answer and like the video and comment and do stuff. And I think the answer is honestly robots, question mark?
Yeah.
Because, okay, listen to this.
You can purchase views.
You can, but
yes, you absolutely
YouTube can find it. You
yes,
know, if you buy views,
stop it,
if there's a lot of views coming from a certain, not even IP address, from a certain location at the same time, it triggers. So
it's supposed to flag. It is supposed to flag the same IP address, and it's supposed to flag like fraudulent, quote unquote, fraudulent views. I don't understand though, because okay, Ryan Toy's review, his most watched video, 1.2 billion views.
What?
Oh my god!
Which is so.
Is it Hatchimals? What is it?
It's like an egg hunting video. He just runs around and picks up eggs.
We're making Candy Mountain. The next time we're in the same space, I swear to God, I'm gonna set aside like $300. We're just gonna buy a shit ton of candy. We're gonna make like
what's gonna
what
happen?
Is it? Crazy candy, so much candy, or like a lot of candy.
No, all of it. Crazy candy, so much candy, Candy Mountain candy, a lot of candy.
Yes,
that whole
it's gonna
thing
be
is
a
the
big fat title. Yes,
not clickbait.
Not at the very end. Not clickbait. Must watch.
Must watch.
Yes.
That video would either get like 100 views or like 100 million views. There's no in between.
Yeah.
1.2 billion views on this video. I watched it. This is Tony's quote because he overheard me watching it and was like, "What the fuck is this?" He said, "It's like watching family videos that aren't your family." Why would you ever start? Like, that is just
That's
so
great.
perfect. And great. Tony's the best. It really does feel like that because it looks like it was filmed on one of those old recording like potato cameras.
What?
And
oh my god.
And it just looks bad and they're not really saying that much and the kids just running around. It has to be robots. I don't know the answer.
I don't know, man, because like the Muffin song that like the auto-tuned thing that was released on Tom Scott's channel for Us Definitely. I have been listening to that like over and over for like the last 24 hours because it's just so freaking cute.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's like people play music over and over.
It's true. But they
that's so many
shouldn't
views.
Play a video of a little boy running around in his backyard picking up
It's
eggs.
like, I can't get behind the
I
psychologist.
just can't understand. He's not your kid. He's just a random person's kid. You don't know this
is a weird
child.
thing, okay, that I have talked to, one of my friends made a video, and, like, they're very young looking.
Yeah.
And so, naturally, a solid chunk of the views are creepy people.
I didn't even think about this.
Very popular video. So, this is a thing where I was talking to, I think we were at a panel or something, we were talking to this one guy who was at this convention, and they had essentially said that these, like, creepy people, like, people who watch these creepy videos for creepy reasons are an untapped resource on YouTube, and that, like, if you can, because they watch tons of these videos, like, okay, not even kidding, the phrase bad baby, this is like a thing that they brought up that I didn't even stop to realize. If you plug bad baby into YouTube, you get like weird videos. And it's like, some of them are family friendly and some of them are like clearly weird, hinting at child porn things.
I just cannot believe that this went right over my head. Me, the most sadistically minded person in the whole world who's always worried about getting murdered. It never even occurred to me that this could be like pedophilic. stuff.
There's some weird stuff in terms of like family vlogs, and some parents actually exploit this.
Oh
like
my God.
there are people on YouTube who will like make really creepy videos of like duct taping their children to the bed, and then like they'll have a person come in with a costume and be like, ooh, and then cut them out of it, and it's like really weird stuff, and it's like little like niche kink pedophile videos, and they're just like really weird, but they fly under the radar because they're like family content, because they are of families, and it's really freaking creepy.
That would really explain the lack of engagement as well, though, which is super interesting, because it would kind of line up with when I said old people. This is not what I was thinking.
Dude,
holy shit!
Yeah, people who don't want people to know that they're watching these videos.
This is like one of those few moments I wish we recorded our live streams, just because I can't add anything to this except for what's already written on my face.
We need face cams just for this.
Or
one part
it would definitely make air quotes easier. For sure.
I feel like you can hear the air quotes just a little bit.
Yeah,
though, like the soft wind flowing through our fingers. Oh God. Oh no.
Yeah,
well,
there is
a
a fair bit of creepy people and
oh, dear.
I don't know, kind of disturbing stuff on YouTube, and like people who watch YouTube for disturbing reasons.
Well, that puts an unsettling light to the fact that he is the most popular channel on YouTube now.
And this is why I'm telling you, at some point something's gonna break, and that's when the laws will be instituted.
Yeah.
That's when shit will start getting like, when we as a culture will determine that this is not okay, and only then will this stuff be stopped.
Yeah. Well, that is, I have absolutely nothing to add to that. My God.
Yeah.
There's really no
stuff
win
gets
here
creepy.
either, because like,
No.
as a former child myself, I feel like I can say I used to love being like the center of attention. Not so much anymore, but like when I was younger, anytime anybody put a camera on me, I was like, I am here, ready to be filmed, camera ready all the time. And I like lived for that shit. And we would put on plays, like we were here for it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the kid is all about it, it could be good for them to be really into a hobby. And if you taught them how to edit, what a fantastic skill to teach your child. How to edit videos, how to do all this like compression stuff and export videos, and like that kind of stuff could lead to a job for them, easy peasy. It could be awesome. And being confident and good with public speaking and camera ready is always a good skill. Like that is just fantastic skill. But there has to be child labor laws for this, and my God, fucking pedophiles need to be stopped, because holy shit, I didn't even think about that. That is so upsetting.
Yeah, the creepy like
that, and the entire generation of children, whatever generation is under Gen Z, that are watching these things as that's their childhood. We had Nick Jr. They have these fucking videos, and they're watching people do these things. Now, I don't want to be like the old person that's been like, the kids are gonna get ruined. I'm sure they'll be fine. But, I mean, the fact that that's a norm, that they're observing absolutely abhorrent behavior and being, like, subconsciously told that this is a good thing is very concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely, I 100% think that media has an effect on children more than it does on teenagers and stuff.
Very, very much
And
very much.
It has less and less of effect on you as you get older, although I think news is ruining the baby boomers.
Oh, God. That's another
They're
subject.
impressionable as well. I think millennials are like one of the least impressionable groups of people. We are so cynical and like we don't give a fuck about anything at all.
We've become immune to clickbait.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we've been bombarded with nothing but info ever since we were kids.
And we don't believe anything on the internet.
And so, like, boomers, I feel like they're like, this is still new. It's like the second half of their life where this cool new thing. So they're like, selfie, and they're acting like teenagers. And then you have kids who are, like, born into this weird norm of, like, a Wild West fucking internet where people are Elsa-gating, and it's like, what?
As mature and, like, cool and informed these kids can be, though, we still have to remember that they are kids. And anybody under 18 is a fucking minor, 100%. There's no exceptions, not a single one, ever. And I definitely do think I mean, speaking to all those parents out there who are clearly listening to this.
All of you parents who listen.
Fucking watch your kids. Fucking take care of your kids. Because you had it, and it's there now. I don't want to say, like, media's ruining the world, but I think unsupervised children on the internet might be ruining a little bit kids.
Unsupervised children in general is always a bad thing.
Yeah,
unsupervised
really
children on the internet, like...
It's a bummer, is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just wish it wouldn't happen. And they're just maturing a lot faster than you'd hope they would, I think.
You know what it is? It's a lot of these parents are like, I would never leave my kid alone in a park, right? I would never do that. But these same parents stick this device in their hands and say, leave me alone. And you're pretty much doing worse than that. Like, yeah, somebody can just pick them up and take them away in a park, but you're pretty much putting them in front of all of the worst the world has to offer and teaching them to navigate it without any filter. Yeah. And that's like setting them loose.
You're letting them figure it out. You're just putting them in this like new space and letting them just figure out how to navigate, and they're gonna fall for all of the like flashy clickbaity things that people are trying to like put in front of them.
And it's just
it's really freaking scary.
Yeah,
it makes me kind of sad because it's like I feel like the internet is its own country, and this is just like a personal opinion that I've had forever. It is its own space. It's like a park or a state or a place that we go to do things, to work and live and communicate and hang out and see our friends and everything. So I don't know, when parents just, like, let their kids, little kids, run wild on the internet, bad things can go south real fast.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Dude, have you guys read/seen Ready Player One?
No!
Not yet.
I want to see it!
I haven't seen the movie, but I read the book, and it is all about virtual reality and how all education and all everything is on virtual reality, so you just fucking put your mask on, you put your little gloves on, and you're just in the new world. And I like, that is the future, 110%. And I'm really pumped, by the way. As a computer science major, I'm like, here for new technology.
Like, everyone's... I would be down for that. Just going into the internet.
But
that would be fantastic.
I fervently believe that is the future. And of education, of everything. Of entertainment, of education, of fucking daily life. Even work could be done over virtual reality. I think that is what's going to happen. And I'm pumped for it, but also what's gonna happen to kids? I'm so worried. But yeah, hey, you know what? Let's get some positives in here when we're talking about the decay of America.
Okay, I've got a silver lining that I put on here.
Do it.
Oh, go Echo.
Oh, do it.
Because of the internet and because of family vloggers, the internet was actually able to, like, step in and help some kids because the Daddy of Five thing.
Yes.
If they weren't vlogging and showing just their day-to-day stuff, those kids probably would have been stuck in that environment for much longer than need be.
Yes, I would have a hard time thinking that they are not that dysfunctional on a daily basis with the cameras off as well.
So, like, they got out of a shitty situation because of family vlogging.
Yeah, that was a sad positive.
Yeah, it is a sad positive.
It is a silver
lining,
here,
how about another positive? I agree with Crystal that the kids are going to be alright. The kids are going to be okay.
They're going to be fine.
I think that this is going to make a cool a unique generation of mature, ready to roll. These kids that we're seeing in that high school that got shot up recently, how they're just like activists and they're on top of things and they're smart and they're articulate
they're
and they're camera ready. And I think that is going to be the generation.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like that same generation is also the one that was eating Tide Pods.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, no matter what, there will be a grab bag of, like,
emotionally damaged kids do weird shit.
Yeah. It's always going to be a grab bag, every generation.
It's true.
You know, the more shit you go through, the more shit you win through, I guess.
Or what's one of those stupid phrases that's like, the higher you go, the harder you fall, or something. What's that one? It's like, it makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yeah. It's so
whatever.
dumb,
one of those cheesy phrases.
True.
I agree.
Yeah, it makes me
There's
want
a
to, like,
reason
punch
that phrase
the person
exists.
who said it, but
Agreed.
it is true. You know, don't start fires and don't pretend to push people off cliffs, and you'll be cool.
Also, if you're a family vlogger, set aside some money for your kids to go to college and
please do
buy
that.
a house and shit. Because if you don't, your kids are gonna sue you.
Yeah.
Just a word of advice.
Just
if nothing else,
that's
take your
my
own,
positive.
Survival.
I hope
account.
the kids sue them.
Yes, that'll be our positive.
That's my positive. I hope these camera-ready, super articulate children sue.
These camera-ready, super articulate.
When it happens, I want you all to come back to this and rip the audio from this and be like, Echo was right.
Echo knew.
Boom, called it.
Exactly.
All right, you want to say our platforms, Crystal?
Yeah, you can find us mostly on Mondays, mostly weekly, on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and SoundCloud. And our handles are...
At Happy Panda Party.
At Echo is Weird.
And at The Crystal Joy.
And remember, friends, the human body cannot survive without salt. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Ta-ta. Goodbye.